welcome to the podcast, Janet. This is the Social Media Marvels. How have you been doing?
Quite well, though my week has been so crazy, but I like the fact that I made time for this. And thank you so much for having me here.
So, today we're going to be talking about building online communities. And why is this topic so dear to you?
First of all, when you look at communities, let me start from the aspect of the general. Social media platforms are communities. And currently, technology has evolved to a point where if you don't have a smartphone, you're missing out. Yeah. If you're not on social media, having some accounts using WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, you're missing out a lot. So communities are so dear to me because they help me connect to people as much as they're my close friends. Some of them are my family, relatives, and marketers, meeting their customers. And another thing that most of the time we usually forget, people meet their lovers on social media. So communities are very important. Yes.
And how long have you been putting efforts across building communities online?
So far, this is my third year. And so it has been actually a wonderful moment all through talking, because personally, I usually deal with businesses. And as a marketer, we have to create our communities in a certain niche. So I can't say that I'm just there to just share my experiences, what I do, but my communities are specific. There is a reason to why I'm there. As much as I'm having my fun, as much as I'm connecting with other people just to even meet them, go have fun, I am there for business. And so in the aspect of building communities for businesses, they have really helped me so much in the fact that I can connect with people, I can learn. For instance, I think you used Twitter to find me. That is a community, you see? So I think it's something that doesn't really have to be the way we usually think about community in our traditional aspect, that people we live together closely, we have some certain relationships, or something is relating us from the offline, in the offline aspect. But even though the digital, it is so wonderful that people can meet who have different from different geographical locations to one place where they are interested on one particular issue or topic. They discuss, they share. For instance, I think I met you because of that.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm going to learn something from you as I share my thoughts on the online communities.
That is so true. I mean, right now, with social media, I don't think the world is getting any bigger. It's getting smaller. In fact, you don't need to be in close by to somebody in terms of geography or physical presence to talk to them, to engage with them, and also to learn from them, like you said.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You said for
Exactly.
businesses, you always want to focus on a niche audience. So when it comes to niche, they have something in common, and there's always an engagement or a process of conversation that is happening between them. How do you think a business can maintain that point of engagement and throw out content so the community actually keeps on talking and sharing?
Okay, first of all, when you talk about engagement, is the aspect of reaching out to other people so that they can reply to your posts or to your videos. It can be, the post can be in different aspects. It can be in video, can be in audio, can be in text, GIFs, and what have we of the different formats of content. So when you talk about engagement, we have, as marketers, we have different goals when it comes to engagement. There are some engagements that you want to do in order to get more likes, more favorites. Some we want more replies because we want people to talk about us, people to ask us questions. We want to at least give more information about what we shared to our audiences, or the specific people ask about that. So when it comes to businesses keeping on the engagement live all through, first of all, as much as you have the niche, remember, as much as your business deals with products and services, you're not going to talk to the social media, as in the Twitter, the Facebook, or the Instagram. There are people there. These are individuals. You're going to engage to people. So how are you going to keep it live? First of all, forget about the technology you're using in order for you guys to meet. Think about this is a human being you're responding to. So be humane. The more you exude your personalities in terms of being the human instincts, now the emotions, talk about what makes you as a person, or what makes you think that, not really think, what makes you communicate to other people. In all that aspect, it really helps you like keep your engagement live or through, because you are talking as a person and you're communicating to an individual.
Yes, I completely agree with you that what businesses should always not forget is that they're talking to the person at the end of the day.
Exactly,
it's going to be
yes.
Psychological, it's going to be emotional, it's going to be sometimes people are going to have conflicts and you'll have to make conflict mediations, because if two people are talking with opposing with opinions, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, so
True.
that's what I was wondering, that sometimes I'm interested in a topic, and that's why I've joined a particular Facebook group, or I'm following a particular page on Twitter, but I might not necessarily buy from them. So I might not be a conversion per se, but I might be interested and a loyal member of the community. So
Yes.
how does a business sort of balance that people who are genuinely interested in the information that they pass out, and people who really want to believe in the product and want to buy the product or service, for that matter of fact?
I tend to believe brands, or rather businesses, have their own aims or goals they want to achieve. And when you look at marketing as general, why you're doing the marketing, the reasons that you as an individual might be having in order to meet might be different from mine. Some brands just want awareness. Some of them want to convert. Some of them want just to create an audience, or rather activity around them, that can now act like messengers. So the question is, how is this brand going to make sure that at least they have got this individual to do that? That still goes back to engagement. How you communicate, engage with your audience will make them love your brand, will make them hate your brand, or will make them want to be part of your brand. As much as they're not going to be the messengers, they're not going to be the customers in terms of converting to a sale, they're going to be there because they want to learn. People follow your brand for different reasons. Some of them want to be part of your community because your community is amazing.
Yeah.
Some of them want to be part of your community because, oh yes, we want to buy your products. But first, give us more information. Teach us. Let us learn, how does it work? How is the experience from the influencers or your brand or your employees sharing on social media like? Is it exciting us? Is it intriguing us? Is it making us want to buy? So as the same as building a brand is a journey, the customer also needs a journey in order for her to make a decision from what he has learned about your brand, the information you have shared, and how other people are talking about it. So it is a patience. Patience really helps, because if you're not patient with your audiences, you're going to break. But how are you going to keep them like growing, learning, and being part of the engaging? Every day you have to have content that you're going to share. Every day you're going to, what are you going to talk about? Every day you can engage even them, because a brand is not a structure, as we usually, most of the time, the past, we thought a brand is a structure, that is, oh, there's a building somewhere, there's a brand. No, that is not it. It's the people that are in that brand. So on social media, it has made it more become like a brand has all the qualities of a human being. It can feel, it can talk, it can see. When you're given that aspect, so you'll have to make people feel too like you as a brand, it can be an individual or the brand as a corporate, more human. And when you're more human, you share the experiences, you share the information, and you engage with them. And in the process, some of them make informed decisions.
That is so true. I mean, I was just thinking that when it comes to me trying to buy something or buying something online, especially, I keep looking at reviews, like what people who have already bought it have said about it, or I'm looking on their fan page or Facebook page. I'm looking at the brand's Twitter account. How well is their customer service? How well do they communicate with their potential customers as well as converted ones? So yeah, when it comes to repeat selling or retargeting an audience, you have to humanize that aspect. Even though it's online, you still have to humanize the aspect. So besides being human by the brand, what are some of the features or the aspects of a very strong online community?
First of all, you have to look apart from we talked about the human feature. Talk about the reviews. When you're sharing the reviews about your brand from other people, apart from you being human, make other people who are talking about your brand feel noticed. So sometimes you can pick their content or their reviews, as much as they are not your influencers, they're not your employers. Share it, reshare it onto our pages or quote it. Twitter helps you to quote. On Facebook, you can share. On Instagram, you can, I think it's reposting.
Yeah.
And then let people see that so that they can know you are not only thinking about what you give from your in-house as a brand, but also what are people talking about your brand. And then something else, look at how are you engaging in other communities? Because it's not all about your community. If you want people to know you, step into their territories. Be in Twitter chats. Discuss maybe sometimes. I love Africa Twitter chats where we found it. Like we talk about marketing in Africa, and even beyond the Africa continent. And so most of the people usually have that aspect, like, oh, this is our chat. So we are not supposed to get involved into any other chat because we already have a chat. I think that is the worst kind of thinking, because in that aspect, if you like cage yourself, you leave out a lot of people. But if you be like, online doesn't have a boundary, go to other chats, be there, engage with them. You can even use the account for your main chat. Actually, there is no harm because you're just engaging with them. Make the chat page look more humane too. Break the boundaries on social media as a brand. Go into the other territories. Share. Still, I usually tell people, if you don't know how to steal your new followers, new fans to your page, then you are not breaking into other people's territory. Nobody's gonna block you, or Twitter is not gonna suspend you because you're getting into another person's page or territory. Go talk, discuss, get new followers. Those few are enough, but so long as they are within your niche. Don't just break to any territory doesn't really relate to what you're doing.
Yeah, that is, I mean, I don't know why people or businesses are skeptical of talking to people who are a part of their niche, but might be a competitor or something. They just want to keep a close tab on them, but not get involved with them. Because I'm sure because we are dealing with the same kind of community. So we might have something that the competitor doesn't know, and we might be able to share that. So
exactly.
And building a community, talking to them is all about knowledge sharing. Why are we talking today? It's just for
something I wanted to share. Sorry to cut you short. I think these are I don't want to share to another person's content on social media. I don't want to engage because we are an independent brand. Will at the end of the day kill some brands. There's some people who usually give honest, genuine, awesome, sweet messages or reviews about a brand on social media, and then the brand just doesn't even like. doesn't even comment, doesn't even retweet or share if it's on Facebook. Do you know that can hurt your brand? Because you look now, you want to be the authority who doesn't, you just want people to talk about you, but you're not going to acknowledge the fact that they did that out of goodwill. You didn't pay them. So brands should break the idea of this is me and focus on we. When you make your pages more interactive in sharing other people's content, people feel nice. People become ambassadors without you even knowing, and your brand grows. Digital is not a place where to act like a traditional kind of brand. No, digital is a place you have just to engage with people. Remember, social media wasn't created for the businesses, but we are trying to find our way there. But if we are going to look at us and then be like, oh, this is us, we are going to talk about us, and that is it. What about people who are sharing about you?
Yeah.
And why are you breaking the fan? Sometimes throw a joke. Sometimes, yes, if somebody has said something so negative about you, laugh it, and then be like, oh yeah, sure, that is nice. We like the fact that you realize that. Share a jiffy, make them feel like, oh, as much as we hit you with the truth, you didn't take it like a human who will throw back and be so offended.
Yep. So how does one actually monitor that? I mean, sometimes it can be bad, like you said, a negative review. Now you really can't advertise it, or you can't really say that, oh, one of the customers have also said this. And how do you make it into a positive feedback and portray it to the other members of the community as well?